Hey everybody, welcome to week 4 research question development. I thought I'd get fancy with my background here on the recording because honestly, I'd rather be at the beach myself. I'm from Florida, and so this is what spring break looked like for me every year. What I'm going to do is go through the materials on the Moodle page for this course so that you have this material ahead of time, and then we'll use the time Monday evening to talk about the particular research question development that each one of you has. So I'm going to share my screen here and talk about what's on the Moodle page. So you have the Moodle page for week 4, conceptualizing research questions. All of us in social work need to know how to conduct research and how to be a consumer of research. And that has been the focus in the 2 research classes you've taken for our program. Here's the link for our Zoom meeting for Monday night at 7:30. This is constructed similarly to the other weekly pages you've had. There's an instruction page first. Then there's the research syllabi for the 2 research courses you've taken. Then we have research tools, and we're going to look at some of these in particular. And then for this, we actually have an outline of how to write the research essay for this exam. So it's a little bit different. And then the place for you to submit your research questions and references. So first I'm going to click on this link to go to the question writing activity and instructions. And this document is a couple of pages long. It's a little bit longer than some of your other instructional pages around writing questions. Research in social work is really important. Excuse me. We have to use evidence-based practices in social work in order to make sure that we're providing a high standard of care for clients and consumers. But also we recognize that not only does research influence our practice, but that our experiences as social work practitioners influences research. As you move through your career as a social worker, no matter what type of social work you provide, you're going to notice aspects of social work service delivery or aspects or factors related to clients and consumers that there might be research on and there might not be research on. And so it's important for you to be able to recognize when there's a good research base on a particular topic and when there's more work that needs to be done on this topic. The reason we put this question last is because as you've gone through the previous 3 weeks researching your particular topic for your exam, you're going to recognize when there's a research base for it and when there's not. And so that you can appropriately respond to the research aspect of this exam, we've put it last so that you have all of that information about your topic before you get to this particular question. So you're going to notice that there is some research on your topic and there's not research on your topic. The 3 different types of research are exploratory research. This is qualitative studies that look at ways to build theories or explain a particular phenomena. There's going to be descriptive research, which tends to be survey research. It's designed to describe or explore the characteristics of a given population or behaviors or psychological processes. And that's probably a lot of what you've tried to find to support your other research, to support your other exam questions at this point. And then finally, there's explanatory research, which is experimental research. So it's looking at obtaining outcomes for a particular intervention once an intervention is designed for a particular population or phenomenon. So now that you've read most of the research around your topic, you're going to be in a better position to talk about research from these 3 perspectives. Really, there's a basic question here, which is how can the research knowledge base be used to guide social work practice? Or how can practice wisdom, what people understand about working with a particular phenomenon or population, guide future research? So essentially, you're going to take one of those 2 positions to write your research question. And here are some samples of research questions from these perspectives. So if there's not a lot of information about the particular phenomenon you're looking at, you might write an exploratory research question. Here's one about looking at the needs of Hmong women. Synthesize the findings from ethnographic research studies which focus on the needs of Hmong women related to acculturation and stress. So here is the analysis verb, synthesize. Here is your population, Hmong women. And here is your focus, acculturation and stress. Based on this information, discuss how social workers can more effectively support the needs of Hmong women. So this takes all of the research that you have been able to find on this topic and allows you to present a research question, an essay that enables you to develop some ways in which social workers might be able to assist people in this particular population experiencing this particular phenomenon. So that's when there's not a whole lot of research at all about a particular topic. That's a good type of question to write. So here's descriptive research, when you want to gather information on the characteristics of a particular population or phenomenon. What does current survey research tell us about Latinos' views regarding traditional mental health services? So I would have preferred a higher level of analysis, or explore what current survey research tells us about Latinos' views regarding traditional mental health services. So explore or examine or analyze or synthesize is a good verb. So here's the population, Latinos, and here's a topic, their views of traditional mental health services. Then the next part of this question is, how can this knowledge be used to guide social work practice in mental health? I would say discuss or examine how this research knowledge can be used. So again, you're looking at survey level research, which is descriptive research literature. Now I want to look at an experimental research question. Based on current experimental research findings, assess the efficacy of parent training and parent education programs in reducing the risk of child abuse. So here you're looking at an experimental research design that looks at, does this work, this particular intervention work, or does this particular intervention not work? Next, discuss how this information can be used by social workers in the child welfare system. So you would have to be able to find experimental research findings for your particular topic. I think that many of you are writing on very interesting and novel ideas, and you might be in the exploratory research part of the research question where there's not a lot of information, and you need to look at basic research to pull together some of these findings. So think about that. Think about the type of research question you're going to write: exploratory, descriptive, or experimental. So I'm going to click out of this document and go back to the Moodle page so we can see where the other documents are listed. I'm not going to go into the research syllabi because that's pretty self-explanatory and you've got this information. I am, however, going to look at research tools. Again, sorry the type here is so small, but there's an article on anti-oppressive research. Down here there's an article on research knowledge, and the fifth document here is a PDF on how to write participatory action research modules. So I've got these documents open already. Let's open the anti-oppressive social work page, and I'll hold these side by side so we can see where I got them from. Again, this is the first article. So this is for those of you who are writing from an anti-oppressive social work perspective. This article is a good basic primer on how to write that kind of research. Those of you who are looking for a definition of social justice or anti-oppressive practice might also find yourselves, find your definitions in this article, or a good reference for this article as well. So that's the anti-oppressive social work research article. The next one I'm going to look at is this knowledge monograph. This is an agenda for social work research. This was written a couple of years ago, I think. It's Brown School of Education. So it's looking at what are the challenges in social work education and what are the challenges in social work research. So if you're not sure about what to write about for your research question, this is a good article to look at. It's going to help you decide whether you want to talk about social work practice or whether you want to talk about exploratory research or evaluative research. So if you're still needing to answer that question for yourself, this is a good article, and it's found here on the Moodle page. The third article is the article on participatory action research, which Dr. Garcia writes about quite a bit. And this is just another primer or introductory article on how to use this research method to address social work issues. Here it's looking at community health, but particularly if you have a population that doesn't have much of a voice in research, this is a good way or a good methodology around which to base your research question and your research essay, because it includes population members or community members as participants in the research, not just as a passive answering questions person, but as a co-researcher. So that's a really good article as well. So I'm going to close this and recenter the page on Moodle. The other two documents are core components of a chapter 1 and core components of a chapter 3. This is another option for writing the research question. You can write the chapter 1 of I'm going to open this document. You can write the chapter 1 of a thesis. It's a thesis you're not going to write completely, and it's a thesis you're not going to conduct research for. But if there's no research on your topic, a great way to deal with your exam research question is to write a chapter 1. And so I put this on big screen so we could see it in full. The reason I like this option is it actually outlines what you need to say in the chapter 1. So it tells you that you need to create a statement of the problem. The problem is that we've got this phenomenon that we're looking at, and there's no research about it because maybe it's a smaller population or it's just not an area that's been discussed very much. So for instance, if you're looking at acculturation in Latinos with substance use problems, this would be a way to address this if there's no other research. Or you're looking at stress experienced by Hmong women who've experienced sexual assault. This would be a way to write your research question and essay because there's not a lot of research on that topic. I'm going to minimize this now and look at a chapter 3. Oh, not sure why I got that. Oh, and there you can see my cat. So all of my questions and everything have popped up. Let me try to get back in Moodle here. Thank you. Another option is for you to write a chapter 3, which is the methodology chapter. So if you're really excited by research methods or have a really good idea for how to measure a phenomenon, you could write the methodology chapter for a thesis. And again, you're not going to conduct the research, but this is really the proposal for the research around your particular topic. Another reason I like this type of question is because you've got this detailed outline for how to write this chapter. So you would look at an overview, you would develop a research design and a sampling plan and an instrumentation plan. And then you talk about, if you did this research, how you would collect the data and how you would plan for the data analysis. So analyzing the data and then dealing with protection of human subjects. So this would be another way to write your research question. Again, you're not going to conduct the research, but it's a way for you to frame this research question if you would be interested in doing it from this perspective. So I'm going to close this file and try to get back into Moodle without opening up all of my other personal files. So I'm going to go back to the main Moodle page, and let's look at this last document. This is a sample research learning brief outline. And here, Dr. Garcia, and I'm going to open this doc now. Dr. Garcia wrote an outline for how to use the chapter 1 of a thesis for writing your essay answer. So here he's outlined it as to how much information you should have in your 5 pages. So here's an introduction, one paragraph is half a page, here's a problem formulation, here's the statement of the purpose, the significance of the study, and the conclusion. So this is a really good outline for writing this particular question, essay answer once you've written your essay question. So I'm going to close this and stop sharing my screen. So that's an overview of how to write your research question. After viewing this video, come join us on Monday night. We're going to talk about question samples, and then we're going to crowdsource writing your research question. So come with your ideas and your questions, and then we'll have some individual time for folks to work on their individual questions if you want to do that at that time. So I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.